3 volleys. Present. Fire! Out! Present. Fire! Fire!
And with that, the 2024 Alberta shoot was officially opened.
So are all those holes yours, Nick?
No.
The BritishMilitaria Forum's Alberta shoot is limited to invited and established members of the Forum. It had its genesis in 2005 when a group of enthusiasts from the Forum gathered under the Alberta sky to share in their passion of Victorian arms. Since then, it has become a singular event, unique in nearly all of its aspects, and certainly the shooting highlight of the year for all involved. But of course, it doesn't just materialize out of thin air. Setup was achieved over 2 days with some preliminary layout of new target arcs, followed by target placement and other admin about the range shack, such as hanging the awning. This year would see an additional firing platform needed. Many thanks to Jack for bringing along the lumber. We placed the various stakes and frames for the usual myriad of targets we'd need to complete this year's program, which left some of us tuckered out. By the afternoon of Friday, all was ready. Following the adage of many hands make light work, thanks to all who were able to come out. The targets for this year's shoot were those typical, as well as 1 or 2 new ones, reflecting the incremental changes and additions we had decided on. The volley targets, the percussion smoothbore, the provincial, along with the Pritchett International, looking somewhat dilapidated here, the Snyder Challenge, the proverbial Baylor, and assorted gongs were this year joined at 200 yards by the Enfield Challenge, or more accurately the 303 Challenge, a Pritchett International target at twice the range. This year's program would feature a facsimile hedgerow and a course of 4 stands of 4 targets each, simulating an advance by the opposition, as well as a stand of 6 large 4-foot figures. All of these were knockdown targets backed by steel. Also new was the Wimbledon target, shot from a remote firing point some 50 yards beside the main one. The target was placed at 300 yards and was the channel's Victorian steel target system with wings of plywood added to increase the 4-foot width of the steel to 6 feet, matching that of the historical. The target had a 2-foot square aiming mark and technically was oversized for the range. But we felt that by using this larger version, more appropriate for ranges of 400 to 600 yards by historical standards, we would lessen anyone's angst. 300 yards would be a new range for many, and anticipation was high. The matches shot were a mix of traditional Alberta fare and some new takes. The provincial, percussion smoothbore, and Snyder Challenge have all been featured at great length in previous videos. But the 2 new ones, the Enfield Challenge and the Wimbledon, were both best 10 of 13 rounds, shot at 200 and 300 respectively. We had originally intended to feature a third, a 200-yard standing practice at the Victorian steel target, but time and weather conspired a bit, and we had to wait for future shoots to tackle that one. The range shack was stocked with all manner of Victorian arms, ammunition, and kit. Now it was time to start shooting.
Which of your many carbines is this one, Nick?
This is the one I got from Henry.
Oh, right,
The Irish Revenue Police
Okay.
one.
Yep,
Smooth bore.
yep. Decent trigger,
Oh, really.
really heavy.
But, but that's fine.
Yep, yep.
As long as it goes bang on the bit.
Okay, you're at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock outside the ring?
Yep.
Okay.
11 o'clock. It's in line with the other one that was tied.
Okay. How far? Okay, so
It's about.
And what's the carbine?
It's 1842 pattern, 1847 Irish Revenue Police carbine.
at that target, I can still. I've still
I got it from
paper
Henry.
to shoot at, right? So that's
Say that 3 times quickly.
Yeah.
fine. And then we can mark maybe.
The far right one.
So the 2 up there are the Snyders, right? The 2 tall ones.
We did the.
I'm going to do the Snyder 150 next, and then I'll shoot off a 10-pack.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going for the far right provincial. Far right provincial?
Far right, yeah.
Right, okay, I'll sit down and get those things up.
Was that the...
Sure, 253 on here with 8 plus 5.
So Jack, those are Brett's bullets, are they?
Yes, they are,
Oh boy.
and they made a huge difference.
Oh, don't tell them they're that good.
Huge difference.
Did you roll those yourself? And
I
use those
did.
bullets?
I just used his bullets, rolled them myself.
Yeah. With your next to new, brand new P-58.
Oh my gosh,
Indian
yeah.
rifle?
Well, this is the 3rd time I've shot it, so it's new to me as well, but... And of course I've got this.
It's next to like mint condition. Eh?
It is. It's an absolute beauty.
Okay. Okay. I think that made the hole in the center 10 a little bit bigger.
Could be, because that was a nice
Little hard to say.
right above.
Well, it's hard to throw it. This thing, you put it on and it says
6
1
o'clock,
and
just
then
out of the range.
where it says
Still low, man, okay.
and there's your thing. It's just like a framing square. Yep.
Don't mind me. Okay. Pretend I'm not here.
It's hard to find like period thread or like polyester now, which has its advantages, but if you're trying to be really accurate, you didn't have to.
Yeah, and a lot of the French style, like, I don't know any styles for test.
Yep.
It has
black.
A Nick Spoon challenge for the 303 at, what was it, 200 yards?
200, yeah.
200? Is Martin with a score of 25. Well done. Could there be a better spot to spot from?
It's the spot that you can
With this buffet in front of you?
Oh no, what did I do?
What the hell are you shooting?
The enemy's rifle.
Duh!
I like it.
Back!
It's,
You heard the latest
it just gradually gets
250 masquerades.
Oh, well, no, you mean the ones that are on boy? Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Trying to get rid of electronic waste. Yeah.
You're surprised at every response.
Hey?
You ready?
A ventometer?
Yeah.
Every year I forget the Snyder's 8 with 5 scoring, right? What's that? Snyder's 8 with 5.
Have you got records of what to set it to?
No, not really.
Would you?
Just-
The Snyder challenge.
Just two
Oh, that's 150. Yeah. Is that
guesstimates.
what you're starting?
Yeah.
Oh. Bigger target.
That looks to me surprisingly original.
Would the trooper just rip the string off or cut it? Oh, very soft.
He'd rip it.
They're in pretty good shape.
They look that way.
The
no
older
good-
1860s and 70s ammo is usually pretty horrible.
There's no corrosion or anything on those. Spun over tip.
Is it spun over? Must be.
Was that like real?
The big difference is the Canadian ammo didn't have the paper liner on it, at least the later versions. Well,
Here goes nothing.
yeah.
There it is. That went in pretty easy.
I think it'll all be down to the primers.
How do you figure?
Plenty of oomph.
Nothing wrong with that primer.
No.
All fire formed and nice.
But it's 2 inches from the first. Oh, I've got plenty. That could be what I use next year, Rob, in our challenge. That had plenty of oomph. The powder's fine. It's just the primers.
Primers, yeah. Is that number 3?
I'm thinking I've got a deeper indentation than you do.
much stuff in this pouch now.
Can't see that one.
Okay.
Got blanks and balls, and patches, and
Whoa, there's a flash.
Artillery and support, eh?
Or yeah, both
See
ends.
that one?
How many were in the packet?
10.
10, and out of 10, how many dead?
I think I had 3. Have you done the challenge?
Oh, nice bullseye. Just to the bottom left of it.
I think so. 11 o'clock, right on the outside ring there.
Just
the edge of the.
Wipe out. It's in my living room right in front of the French force. Yeah. So you get all that. I bought it.
Better. 2 o'clock
And then I
inner, about 2 inches inside of the ring at 2 o'clock.
Because in the old
Just keep doing that.
they get you to.
This year, the historical program was a bit of a hybrid model. The theme was Wimbledon, and included a couple of different aspects of what that meant. What many may not know is that before Bisley, there was Wimbledon. Today best known for tennis, until 1890, it was the shooting mecca of the British Isles. Things coincided in the late 1850s that solidified sport shooting in the United Kingdom. Namely, the threat of French invasion, the formation of the National Rifle Association, not to be confused with its junior American namesake, and the formation of the Volunteer Force, all in 1859. The National Rifle Association chose as its headquarters a spot on Wimbledon Common, and constructed rifle ranges to serve as a central location for its efforts to promote rifle shooting. In 1860, the first National Rifle Meeting, known as the Imperial, was opened by Her Majesty the Queen by firing a Whitworth rifle from a fixed rest at a target some 400 yards away. The round struck just a hair's breadth from the center of the bullseye. The volunteers were early, keen, and integral participants of this newly patronized sport. Separate from the British Army, they often afforded more emphasis on musketry than perhaps some regular units busy with other military duties. The 250 pounds of the first Queen's Prize, awarded in 1860, went to a volunteer man, Edward Ross, of the 7th North Yorkshire Volunteers. It was in this spirit that we decided to include some broadly associated activities in our historical shooting program. Although we had shot at a princely 700 yards a couple of times, facilities to do so were not in place. However, 300 yards could be eked out, and we decided on a simple shoot at that range using broadly historical targetry to pay homage to the volunteers and gentlemen marksmen who competed at Wimbledon, often at great range. In order to facilitate the shoot, a camera system was used, brought along by Henry and Bill. This enabled us to view the hits on the steel, and then the idea was to transpose these to an analog target for the benefit of the shooter and assembled spectators. This way, using this system, multiple shooters could shoot before the necessity of repainting the target became apparent. Conveniently ignoring the modern touches, we remarked on how similar our setup was to those Victorian images with their tents, awnings, telescopes, scoreboards, and spectators.
You hit it!
'17, 18, 19.
Well done.
That was high.
Like myself, I can always do this.
In the black, in the bottom left quadrant.
Nice.
I can't get out of that one.
I can help you.
I'm done.
Are you done?
That's 7.
Thank you.
7 in the ball.
Down too much as it is.
Shoot 13.
How many are we counting?
Everyone's shooting 13.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
keep going. You should have one more.
One more? Okay.
Well, were you just going to shoot until you had 7 in the bowl, then call it quits? Okay, I'm done.
It's a waste.
That's a perfect score, Bill.
Nice work, Bill.
Well, thank you.
job.
Number 9. The magic blue.
So consensus was overwhelmingly in favor of our new match. In fact, there was talk of sourcing local steel to fabricate a permanent 300-yard historical target for use in years to come. The other part of our historical program was to play to the other side of the volunteer movement, namely the repelling of a possible French invasion. While the volunteers were a part-time organization, they did fill a more operational role in the defense of the British Isles. It was foreseen that in the event of the Bleu, Blanc et Rouge setting foot on British soil, the volunteers would augment regular forces in the defense, fighting from fixed positions and delaying the enemy advance, while the regulars formed for a counterattack. To this end, our French invasion practice consisted of 4 stands of 4 small 2-foot targets, spaced at 50-yard intervals, and a stand of 6 4-foot targets at 200 yards. Us, playing the role of the plucky volunteers, would meet the French, shooting first from the 150-yard point, and then conduct a fighting withdrawal, firing volleys at each set of targets, working our way back methodically in 50-yard increments to our hedgerow. From there, the main body of the French attack would be engaged at 200 yards, with 2 volleys followed by independent fire. Any residual ammunition from the 10 carried by each man could then be put to any remaining targets. We elected to use the historical but somewhat difficult volley firing evolution, which did not include the command fire.
We'll fire 1 volley.
The 3-second pause after the command present was to be judged in the head before firing when the target was covered.
Okay, unload and show clear. Okay, the line will retire. Turn about and retire to the 100-yard point. Present! 50 yards. Present! Yes!
Got it.
Who decided to go for the 100 yards?
Oh! Yeah, 2 for 1.
Nope, too easy. Try to get it.
Well done,
Sharpshooter Larry on the right flank.
Don't make it one hand.
And turn about, retire to the 0 yard point. Skirmish slide, ready! We'll fire 1 volley at 50 yards. Mark your target. Present! All right, it's the 12th Alberta Volunteers. We've successfully conducted our fighting withdrawal to our main fighting position behind our hedgerow. But now the main body of the French have appeared. In comes some considerable strength. There's at least 6 of them. The skirmish line will fire 2 volleys at 200 yards, ready. Make sure you set your sights to the best of your ability. Aim for that chest. We'll fire 2 volleys. Present! Ready! Present! Ready! Independent firing! Commence! Take your time. Oh! 2 more. Get to 200. Someone's a bit low there. More. Come on, someone's got him.
It's all up to you, man.
Aim for his chest. Anybody have remaining ammunition?
Yeah, I got it.
Right. Work your way down, out, I should say, from 50 yards out. We have 2 at 50 yards. Independent firing commence. Nice hit. Are we up to the 100? Mind your sight settings if you still have them at 200.
I do.
Oh, that was close, Martin. his head.
Got the proper screwdriver.
Oh, just high.
He's not losing, right?
He's scared.
Yeah.
He shit his pants.
Yeah.
And then ran away from suffering from dehydration.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other guys did that. The other guys see that get partially tomorrow.
There's no way we can win.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
There was a lot of that. I was watching. See, more. Look at it. Look at it all.
Got it in the knee.
That'll need an amputation.
Yeah, amputation.
Yeah. Splat.
That would have got him in the.
This one.
No. You got
It's left at the back of the
you got a lunger right there.
Pantaloons.
Ouch.
Ouch. Oh.
Ow.
Oh.
Bill, where was that, Bill? Where was that?
Through the pantaloons.
Oh. Ow.
Nice. And another good one.
That must have been you, eh, Richard? Dead center. Oh!
Looks like
There's that's that. But the only shot that mattered was Larry's. Which one was it, Larry?
No, there's no mark on the plate.
Oh, the plate's missing. That's why. There's one sitting behind you on the ground.
It's probably this one.
Yeah. So that was you. Oh, so that was you. Crying.
That one?
Well, were you shooting Martini?
Yeah.
Then that was you. That's you. And with that, the 2024 Alberta shoot concluded. A fine time was had by all, and many thanks go to Richard, Linda, and Elizabeth for the hospitality, the many meals, and, most importantly, the welcome that we are all so lucky to receive when, every June, we converge upon this little piece of Alberta that is such a wonderful focal point for our Victorian shooting endeavors. If you'd like to support the channel, please stop by our Patreon page. The link is in the description below. For more information on projects and updates between videos, follow us on our Facebook page. What was once Utreon is now Player. It still remains a good alternative to YouTube and Patreon, as those platforms have become rather troublesome for content as found on this channel. May I suggest following British Muzzleloaders there as well. If you'd like to view British Muzzleloaders and many other channels in an ad-free environment, free from the content restraints of YouTube and other platforms, then I might suggest you head on over to History of Weapons and War, where you can subscribe and find this channel and many like it, presented as they should be, all in one place.